Okay, so what we'll do is we will start off with I'll take a small revision, quick revision before we begin. Last week we had looked at currency, and in currency we had seen how different countries use different types of currencies. What are the requirements for a currency to become a medium of exchange? We looked at portability, durability. It must have value. It must be commonly expected. We've seen a lot of such points which are required for anything to be called as currency. So for thousands of years, it was gold which was used as currency throughout the world. And today we have what is called as fiat money. It is the rupee that we have. In India, across the world, there are different currencies, and there are some currencies which are very powerful, like the dollar, the pound, uh, which have global recognition also. Okay, so with that, anyone having any questions with like last week's session? Any doubts, queries, things you'd like to ask?
No, sir.
No, no, everything you know well. You get full marks in the exam. Really? Wow. Either you get full marks, or if you're not getting those marks, you ask me what is the query, and then I'll answer those queries. No doubts.
Not now, sir.
Okay. अच्छा ठीक है. Give me a second. People are slowly joining in. So. How many of you have
Uh,
started reading the
uh,
newspaper regularly without the assignments? Oh yeah, Shristi, you had a question.
Sir, can you explain once again about the fiat money?
Fiat money, right? Okay. So for the longest time, I think, friends, I told you from the time of the like maybe since 200 or 300 years, gold was used as a medium of exchange. And sorry, for 2000 years, gold was used as a medium of exchange. And then somewhere down the line, people said, instead of carrying the gold, let us carry a receipt which says, I promise to pay the bearer the sum of so and so gold coins. And that receipt started being used as currency. Okay, so people started getting used to the concept of carrying a piece of paper which has legal authority, which is issued by someone with authority as such, and that can be used as a medium of exchange. Then in 1929, when the US went under the Great Depression, uh, the economist at that time, Maynard, what he suggested was that let us print more money and give it to the people. If people have money, they will think of spending. If you don't have money, you won't spend. Okay, so that was the basic presumption. He said, give people money, they will spend. And then the government got back to him and told him, but we don't have that much gold. And without that much gold, we can't print the money. So what Kenny said, he said, to hell with the gold. Who cares? Nobody's going to come and check how much gold you have. Okay, he said, it doesn't matter what gold you have. Uh, just print the money. If anybody comes and checks, say you do have that much gold. And the government said, no, we can't lie. So he said, forget it. Then say we don't, the money is no longer linked to gold. The linkage which was there for thousands of years between the paper the receipt that is given, and the gold which is stored in the bank, that link was broken by Kennard Manish. Okay. And, sorry, not Kennard, Maynard Keynes. Okay. So, once it was broken, every other country realized that we need not print as much money as gold as we have. There should be no connection between the two. And hence, countries started printing as much money as they required without keeping the required amount of gold in stock. And this system was called as the fiat system. Okay, because the value of that paper is nothing more than the guarantee that the government gives of that country which is issuing it. So that is why if it is issued by the US government, it has very high value. You see, 70 of their dollars is equal to, sorry, one of theirs is equal to 70 of ours. The pound is very important. Uh, Indian rupee also is important. You can buy lots of stuff in India. You can buy everything in India, provided you have the money for it. And this particular system where the rupee has no other value except for the guarantee of the government is called a fiat system. I hope that is clear now, Srishti.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So no more gold attached to it. That is the main thing. The main crux is no gold. So let us quickly go through the news. Okay, I want each one of you to tell me one major news for the day as such. Something important, quickly. Local news, national, international, or business news? Very quick, quick. We'll give 10 minutes for this and then we'll move on to our next steps. Guys, open up your phones. You have your Google News or you have Times of India. Open it up, read up the news. Let me know. Who would like to go first? Okay, by the way, I have a participation contest. Okay, so how many of you all participate? Each time you answer a question, you gain a point. The top 5 students will be getting 3 additional marks in the exam. Okay, so this goes live from today. I'll be taking notes of how many of you all are paying attention in class. So who would like to go first on this?
So can I?
Yep, you can.
Yeah, so the first is Punjab CM Chani expresses regret over PM Modi's security lapse.
Oh, yes, correct. What had happened? You know the situation? PM Modi had a rally to address, and along the way, there were some protests which were there, and he was stuck on a bridge for 1 hour. Not 1 hour, half an hour, he was
It
stuck.
was a protest.
Yes, yes, and that's a major
It's
security
funny,
lapse.
it's
Having the
Feroz.
prime minister of the country stuck somewhere like this is not a good sign. So, yeah. Apart from that, so this is national news, but not business related. It is a little more political related as such. Anything else? I'm looking at news related to the nation, something which relates to economy,
Yes,
something.
can I once again?
Aja, and secondly, it's not can I, but what does can say? Can says possibility. Of course, you can talk.
Can say. Okay,
You should
yeah.
say may I should be the thing because then you're asking permission whether you can interrupt the class and you don't require permission. You can directly start. Don't worry. Go ahead.
May I? So
Yeah, of
there's
course.
one more business news. Trade setup for Jan 14 is Nifty about to make a U-turn. So here's
Okay.
the check next key levels cues ahead of Friday session. There might be a session on Friday, I guess.
Okay. So, Shrishti, we'll give others a chance to. Okay. What about the others? We have this
So we
is
have to read a headline only or
read the headline
description
and try to
also.
tell me what you understood from that. Read the headline. If you understand the headline directly, read a little of news from inside. That will be nice.
Sir, may I?
Yes, Hitesh.
Just a second, sir. Why Wipro shares fell 6% today?
Okay. Any reason?
Uh, I guess because of the quarter three earnings, the
Must have
company
been
did
less.
close.
Quarter three earnings would have been less, I'm sure. So
Yes.
because of that, the expectations
Because
would
of
have
the
been high. And what has happened is overall, Omicron has again created a dent. Everyone
yes, yes,
expected
yes, yes. Uh,
this season to be nice for the economy, and unfortunately, people are still scared of Omicron, and that is why it is creating a scare. Give me a second. I forgot to plug in my laptop. So yeah,
Also,
Omicron is creating a scare. So that's the negative news. Anybody else?
sir, can I ask a personal question?
Yes, you can.
Uh, why is crypto in dip right now, sir?
In a dip, see, the crypto will go up and down because right now crypto is not used much by all organizations. So right now it is purely speculative. So the ones who are the price that it is trading in right now is exceptionally high. It should not be as high as what it is. It should be maybe 1/5 or 1/10 of what it is trading in right now. All cryptos.
Sir, is it
Uh,
above the intrinsic value?
your money has no intrinsic value. We just learned just now what I told you about real money. Like look at the dollar, look at the rupee. What is the intrinsic value of a rupee? Zero.
Okay,
In
sir.
fact, when I loved all everything what Mr. Warren Buffett says, except for this one thing. He says crypto has no intrinsic value, and the same thing is true for every currency. And I
Okay.
don't agree with Warren Buffett on this. He says if crypto has no currency value. Yes, rupee has no currency value. Dollar has no currency value. It is only the value what you assume, what the people assume it to be. And all of these cryptos have a bright future. Okay, they are the future of money. And I have not been saying this today. I've been saying it for the last 7 years now. And there is a good chance that more and more governments will start accepting cryptocurrency as part of the world economy as such. And when that happens, more trading will happen, more work will happen in the society. Okay, I got your point also. And so, yes, according to me, the value is high right now, but in time it will start coming down to its regular levels. It should be low. Okay,
Okay,
Hitesh?
sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
somebody, Aditya asked me what are NFTs. Okay. Uh, do you know how the blockchain works?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you, would you like explaining that a little?
It's too long, sir.
You're a science student?
No, sir. I'm a commerce student.
Yeah, then how do you know so well of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, uh, the way this thing
Joel
works
has
is,
raised the hand. Joel would like to explain, I guess.
Joel, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I don't know the core idea about it, but I know the basic idea about the
Yeah, tell me.
how blockchain works. So it's like if I and Hitesh are doing a transaction, like if I'm buying something or selling something, like so some kind of transaction, like I have given money to Hitesh, is stored in his system, and some small bits of transaction details are stored in my system too. So this is somewhat like a decentralized kind of thing. So here the middlemen, that is some hackers or some kind of that guys, so they can't they have to go through each and every data system to find out what transaction we both did. So that is something the rough and raw idea about uh,
Okay. Not entirely right. Give me a second. I'm trying to look at, oh, I have a nice video, PPT I've presented on the,
So basically, we don't have any central bank or RBI to look at our
yes, yes,
transaction.
that is one of the key things as such. Uh, Give me a second. Yeah, I can't believe I can't find it here. Uh, okay. See, the basic premise is this. Uh, look at an online transaction. When you want to send money to somebody else, like suppose you want to make a donation to me as such. Okay, you want to send some money to me. How would you send that money online? Can you just email it to me?
Google Pay.
UPI?
Okay, so you do
Google
a
Pay.
now you'll use your useless youngsters. You'll only know of Google Pay and UPI. Okay, then there are other forms of traditional transactions also, like the RTGS
That's the
system, the
payment
NEFT.
NFC,
also.
RTGS,
Yes,
NEFT?
okay.
IMPS,
Yes, you have the NEFT. Okay, and then you have the IFS. What is that? IMPS system.
IFT, IMPS.
Yes, and the current and the best, which is I won't say the best, but the most accessible to everyone is the UPI system, which is created. A beautiful system, very elegant. And all of these systems require a bank as an intermediary. You require the bank to sit in between all of us in order to send for us to send the money to each other. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you
Yes,
can't do it
sir.
without the bank. So then what happens is for this bank to operate, you also require a central bank because all these banks require the permission of a central bank to because the central bank is required to coordinate stuff like this. And why the central bank is required? Because suppose I start my own private bank, okay, and all you students, suppose I'm the owner of the bank, you guys are you are my fellow countrymen, and you have opened accounts in my bank. If I don't have RBI, I can automatically in my account itself, just add a few zeros behind how many numbers I have, whatever money I have. Suppose I have 1,000 rupees in my account, I can make it 1 million over there. Is anybody there to check if I'm the sole bank and there's no RBI? Who would know? Would anyone know this?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
If
no.
suppose I have a few friends, suppose Sachin, Hitesh, Shrishti, and Akanksha are my friends. Okay. And I say, okay, even you guys have 1,000 rupees in account. Don't worry, I'll make it 1 lakh for you. Be quiet. Don't tell it to anybody else. Would anybody else know about it now? Would the rest
No,
of the
sir.
class know? We wouldn't, right? So what the problem comes here is trust. We do not trust the banks that they are going to be fair with all the accounts. We don't trust it. That is why to oversee all of this, you require a central bank. You require their boss. India's central bank is RBI. So they have like around 10 different audits which happen throughout the year. And every time they're checking whether all the money that they received, exactly so much money is there. I hope they have not uh, fudged the accounts or created some magic money and increased the amount. I hope none of that has happened. So they do all of these activities and they monitor it very closely. Okay, so this is the role of a bank and a central bank. So so around 10 years back, there were people who were online who were saying, why do we require a central bank in the age of computers? Why not have it uh, run through computers instead of an organization which is run by people? So there was this guy, Satoshi. It's a fictional name. And he wrote a white paper on this. He wrote a white paper saying that we can use cryptocurrency, we can use a blockchain to store everyone's transaction. So blockchain is nothing but a large ledger. It's like not having a single page in which you write down every transaction that has happened. So suppose I send money to Sachin, the date is written. Ruben has sent money to Sachin, so and so date, so much money. Sachin sends the money to Shrishti, it'll be written Sachin sent 2 rupees to Shrishti on so and so date. Shrishti sends it to somebody else, like who else we have in class? Hitesh. So it writes 20 rupees sent to Hitesh. All of these things are stored. Now the question comes, this particular ledger which is there has to be stored somewhere, right? So the question comes, where do you store it? Because the moment you store it in a central place, then again that central place can be hacked. The government can come and take control over that. They can then force you to manipulate it. And these online programmers did not want government interference. And the basic premise is, I want to send money to someone. Who the hell is the government to come and interfere with me? That is the basic premise. And so what these guys, they wrote a nice, elegant program. The program sits on a blockchain. The program sits on a blockchain, and it doesn't sit on blockchain. It creates a blockchain. And what this blockchain does is, it's a ledger which has got all the transactions, and whichever computer participates in this transaction, he gets an exact copy of the same blockchain. Okay. So suppose I join the Bitcoin network on my computer, all the transactions from day one till today will also be stored on my computer. Okay. Tomorrow, another student from class, give me a second. Tomorrow, suppose Rebecca joins the blockchain. The entire transaction history that has happened will now be on Rebecca's phone, on Rebecca's computer also. So what happens is, every person, there are millions of people who have joined the Bitcoin network, and all these millions of computers have the ledger stored on their account also. And every time a new transaction is made, it is first stored in something that is called a block. A block is created every 10 minutes. So all the transactions that happen in 10 minutes are stored in that block. The entire block is coded into a very secret code. And that code and that block is stored on everyone's computer. So now everyone has record of what everyone has done. Now, since everyone has a record of what everyone has done, it is stored in my computer, I can manipulate it and I can change what figures I want. So if I have a transaction which says Ruben has only 1,000 rupees, I can make it 10,000 in my system. But since I can only hack my system and make the change, I cannot hack all the other systems. After the next 10 minutes, when the new block is created, all the transactions are rechecked. And then if it notices that Ruben's computer has a manipulation in that, it will debar my computer from participating in the blockchain. Okay, so I essentially have to delete my stuff and reinstall it, and then I'll be able to participate and use the original blockchain which is given. So what the system that he has created is it is unhackable, because you can't, in order to hack the system, you have to hack every computer on the blockchain at the same time and then manipulate the data, which is a near impossibility in today's technology. And the second benefit is you no longer require a company like HDFC or ICICI or any other company to stand as an intermediary to record transactions that I have done from my account to another person. Now you don't require a central bank, because the ledger which stores all the transaction is stored by everyone. So there is complete transparency in this. There is no secrecy. There is very little cause of manipulation. And for these reasons, you don't require a central bank also. Now comes the issue is who will issue the money? The money also has to be provided. So we're just talking about the technology of the blockchain, but who will give out the money? So what Satoshi designed was, in part of the blockchain, he created for every block, he created coins. So every time a block is created, everyone who has participated in the block gets a little money. Okay, all the computers that have helped in supporting the distributed ledger, have helped in handling the system, they get a little Bitcoin from them. It's not the entire one Bitcoin, it will be a small fraction of that Bitcoin, but they get something. And today, knowing Bitcoin is worth around 18 lakhs per coin, even if you get a small fraction of it, you make a lot of money. So there are more and more people who are joining the Bitcoin network, and they're contributing their assets to it. They're helping the network grow. And with that, they are all able to survive and thrive in the system, and they're able to support the system. So this is the short version of the cryptocurrency. When I find my presentation, I'll share it with you, and I'll explain to you. Is this more or less clear to everyone what the cryptocurrency does?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now comes the secondary thing about NFTs. Now Bitcoin only created coins, and there was a guy who came in little later on called Vitalik Buterin. So Vitalik came in and he said, Bitcoin is only purely coins. Let us improve the system. Let us add software into the system also. Let us add smart contracts. So what smart contracts does is, along with the transaction, you can also write a programming code in that. You can write a code that when it is the year 2030, that my child is 18 years of age, I want 3 Ethereum coins to be credited to his account. Okay. Or you can say, if my child completes higher education, becomes a postgraduate, and he uploads his certificate onto the Bitcoin network, onto the Ethereum network, I want 5 Ethereum coins from my account to go into his account. So I can write these type of future contracts and store it on the network. And these contracts will be executed as and when they have to be done, if it is time-based or if it is event-based. So he created this new network, and that network was called as the Ethereum. Now on the Ethereum, people realized that you can also store specific information, like how you store all the transactions of who has sent money to whom. You can also store information of who owns what other assets. Like there are other assets they can also store. So a smart guy came up with a software. You upload your picture on that, and the picture creates a unique code. And that unique code gets uploaded onto the Ethereum network. Okay. So every time a block is created, you upload your small little code over there. This code refers to a photograph which has been created on this website. So in essence, what happens is you can now trace a particular photograph to a particular owner. And once you can trace a particular photograph to a particular owner, which is globally seen, I told you that the distributed ledger is free for everyone to see. Everyone in the system knows now who is the owner of that photograph. Okay. And this particular new kind of asset trading, new kind of asset storage is called as an NFT. Okay. So they are basically non-fungible transactions. So you cannot fungible, you cannot destroy this transaction. Once a transaction like this has been made, it is stored on the Ethereum network forever. So a new business has started around this. People are creating memes, they're creating photographs, they're uploading it online, and they are storing it onto the Ethereum network. And forever, their name has been associated with it. Now, from the beginning of the moment humans got a little civilized, the first thing they started doing was giving value to things. So if you look at paintings, does a painting have any functional value? No, it cannot cook you food. It does not. It sometimes may bring you a little peace and calm or happiness or something, but otherwise it has very little utility. But if you look at some of the paintings made by M.F. Hussein, by Van Gogh, by Picasso, Michelangelo, all these painters, they go for in crores, in lakhs and crores. And why is that? It's just because people associate a value to it. And people now realize that if I create an NFT which becomes popular, a meme which becomes popular, and I put it online, I can sell it for crores. And that's what people have been doing. So a new industry has popped up where they create NFTs, upload it, sell those NFT to other people. So Aditya, I hope this has been answered. Who would ask this question? Aditya. Okay. Okay. So I think we've done enough for general knowledge. Let us get down to raw basics of our lecture. Currency we have done. Drivers of economy. Okay, I hope you have this on your screen now. Managerial Economics Lesson 3.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, I only see around 3 students with their videos on. What about the rest of y'all? You don't have internet? Like Wi-Fi? Okay, so Sachin is online. Offin. Sachin, put it on. Put it back on. Kansha. Srishti. Don't worry, all of y'all look good. Don't worry about that. Okay, I can see everyone trying to set their hair, checking their shirts, all that. You should do all of this before you start class. Okay, come prepared and then put it on. Those, Sachin, why is your camera off? Okay, only please bear in mind this session is being recorded, so don't dig your nose. Don't do any funny things on camera because that will go up on YouTube and it will remain there forever. I'm not going to remove any of these videos online. Okay, so let us understand the next topic for today, which is called as drivers of economy. Okay, has anyone heard about the invisible hand? Commerce students, BMS students, you all must have done the invisible hand. What is the invisible hand? Does anyone have any idea? See, when you go to a tabela wala to buy some milk, he produces some maybe 200 liters or 300 liters of milk. Every day you go to buy milk from him, he will have milk in his tabela. Yes or no? Or you go to a local shop, you go to a local person who sends you milk. Uh, every day he's got fresh milk with him. If he keeps excess milk, what is going to happen? Suppose he has got every guys. I want you to respond now. Without responding, I can't go ahead. What happens if he keeps more milk than how many he can sell? What's going to happen?
It will get
The
waste.
milk will spoil.
It will get spoiled. It will get wasted. Yes. Okay. And if he keeps less milk, what's going to happen?
कम
He'll
सेल
run
होगा
out of the
कैसा
supply.
करना
Yeah, he'll run out of supply. Okay, and then he's going to lose a potential customer. That customer will say, "Arey, iske paas doodh nahi rehta, let's go to another person who has milk." So you see, this guy has to make a very fine balance with him. He has to predict how much milk is going to go today, and accordingly have only that much amount of milk, maybe slightly more than how much he thinks is going to go, so that he does not lose a customer and he does not waste his milk at the same time. Okay, so he has to plan it out really well. Now let us look at any other perishable goods like this. You go to a kiran, you go to a vegetable wala, fruit wala, or a fisher lady. You know, the lady who sells fish. Do you see all of them have the exact same problem? They can't keep too much of it because then they have a problem that's going to go waste. They can't keep too less because then they lose a customer. They have another problem. People like a grocery store, a fisher lady, they need to also know what kind of stock to keep, what kind of fish to keep, what kind of groceries to keep, what kind of vegetables to keep, what kind of fruits to keep. Okay, because if I keep fruits that nobody wants, what's going to happen?
It will go to waste.
It's going to go to waste. Okay, because nobody's going to buy the fruit. It's going to remain with me, and that's it. It's gone. So you see what Adam Smith said is the capitalist economy runs on the concept of an invisible hand. Okay. Does the government tell the fisher lady? Does the government tell the kirana wala? Does the government tell the vegetable wala what fruits to keep?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Each of them do it because of their own free will, and they do it of the autonomy of the capitalist system. The capitalist system allows you the freedom of deciding what you want to do. And since you have to earn your own money, it is up to you what kind of work you do, how you do it in order to make that money. And that is the beauty of the autonomy in the capitalist system. Okay. And not a single person. There is no single person. Modi ji is not telling, "Arey, sabji wala yahi becho." He's not doing that. Okay. He gives us the freedom to do whatever we want under the country of ours. And no single entity has a direct control on how we do it. Okay, the seller has to produce exactly the same amount of goods as there are buyers. That's another thing. And this sentence is a little important. Okay, this sentence encompasses whatever is being said. It was given by again Adam Smith itself. Can someone read it out, please? Can someone read out the quote?
Sir, I'll read it out.
Yeah, Hitesh, go ahead.
Uh, it is not by the benevolence of the butcher or the bakers or the brewer that we have food on our table, but from their regard to their own self-interest. By Adam Smith.
Okay, so what does this statement mean? Can someone, you'll just read it a little and figure out what it's trying to say. What does benevolence mean? Benevolence means good grace, means generosity by their something of good,
Kindness.
of kindness. Benevolence is like kindness. Very nice. Good. Thank you, Rebecca. So it's not by the benevolence or the kindness of the butcher, the baker, or the brewer that we have food on our table, but with regard to their own self-interest. So it means, no, I'll leave it out to you all. I want someone from the students to explain what this means. Yes, Joel, go ahead.
So it means like it's not out of their kindness. There is something behind it. That self-interest is like they have to earn by selling it. So that is the main
Yes.
idea of it.
Okay. In fact, when it comes to see when someone gives you a discount, do you think he gives you a discount because he likes you?
No, sir.
Okay. No, he's giving you a discount because he doesn't want you to go to the next door shop who's not giving you a discount. That is all. Okay. That's all they're trying to do. They are trying to ensure that you come to them so that he makes sale, so that he makes a percentage, a commission on what he's selling, so that he has more money at the end of the day. Otherwise, his stock is going to go to waste. So it is with regard to their own self-interest. And because of the own self-interest of the entire community, the world then works around. So you look at every business which operates, you look at everyone, you look at me that I'm coming and teaching. You think I'm doing it out of my own free goodwill as such? That I feel, oh, I'm very benevolent and I want to spread my
No.
knowledge and message. पैसा कमाना है भाई, पैसा लेने का है.
Vitamin M, as
And
they say.
Vitamin M, vitamin M, because I have a wife and child, and I tell you, they expect a lot of money, right? And you will know soon when you get married. Okay, you have to earn and you have to give. Even if they earn their own money, they don't care. They want your money. So can't help it. That's how all lives are. And you have to. I mean, it's required. You need to wear a shirt. I need to pay for the mobile phone. I need to pay for this computer. I need to pay rent for the house that I live in. I need to pay for the electricity. I need to pay for the Wi-Fi. And without all of this, I won't be able to come and teach you also. Like, you look at there are many people who hate the system, like Karl Marx and the communists hate the capitalist system. And they say this is stupid and this is bad, and everyone has their own self-interest into it. It is very evil and very ugly, but it's the truth, it's how the world revolves. And unfortunately, it's the best system that is around here. You require it. Anyone has any thoughts on this as such? We'll take up the alternative, and then I'll go back to your thoughts and such. Okay. So this is what is called as the invisible hand, what Adam Smith spoke about. And then he went about explaining how two types of economies are there in this world. Okay. One is called the command economy, and the other one is the capitalist, which you have seen. Okay. The command economy is such that the one where government is responsible for all decisions and all economic activities. Think of Soviet Union, think of the old China, where everything was, or look at Venezuela, or you look at any of these countries where there was a communist dictatorial regime as such, which is going on, where all the government is responsible for all activities. You can't own private land. You can't own private businesses. Everything is owned by the government, and the government is responsible for producing and distributing wealth. Okay. When you look at a command economy, you have to look at it as a large family, where the head of the family is your father or the prime minister, and he runs the entire country for everyone. Everything is free for everyone as such. Now, when you compare a command economy with a capitalist economy, you notice there are certain differences there. So in one, people decide their own free will. In command economy, the government decides for everyone. And there are clashes between the two. So some say the capitalist is good, some say the command economy is good. I leave this out open to the class. I want you guys to come and tell me what are your views on this. What would you prefer? Capitalist or command?
Capitalist, sir. Capitalist.
Okay. What about the others? Yeah, Joel.
I'll kindly prefer the mixed economy.
Oh, wow. Joel is the middleman. Okay, great. Very nice. Anybody else? How come only there are three of you all who are talking all the time? There's only Joel, there's
Mixed
only
economy.
which one, Rebecca?
Mixed economy, the capitalist
Mixed
and the
economy. Okay, you
command.
guys have learnt about this. Okay, Swapnil says capitalist. Okay, what does India follow? Command, capitalist, or mixed?
Uh, for some years it was following mix, but nowadays, after seeing the situations like privatization of the government, the banks, and all those things, I think it is moving to capitalist economy.
No, but if you still see, there are so many services which the government offers at either subsidized or free value as such. Like, look at the military. Are you paying for the military? I mean, like we're not paying the guy's salary. We're not hiring a private army. Of course, we're paying income tax and we are paying other taxes because of which they are getting their funds. But if you look at it, that is the service being provided to us. We have government hospitals where if you go there, the treatment is at a very discounted charge. Like, you go for a heart operation in the government hospitals, hardly 10,000 rupees. And there are certain schemes where it is absolutely free. If you have a ration card, you can go to a government hospital. Those who are below poverty line can get transplants, what do you call, blood tests, all of them free of cost. So these are traces of a command economy. That's traces of a socialistic approach to the way the economy is to be run. And at the same time, you have another India where you have the Ambanis, you have the Tatas, the Birlas, the Daburs, the Wipros, all of these where government gives you free hand to run it as you want. You decide how you want to help out. So government takes care of certain needs for people. And for some people who say, no, we are independent and we can do it by ourselves, we are more capitalist in our approach, the government says, yes, go ahead, do it as per your means also. We are there to support you. So India follows this sort of a mixed, balanced approach to it. We have seen the pros and cons of either side, and we've decided that the mixed economy seems to be one of the best. And you have for this you have to thank our architect of the modern economy, which was the architect of the constitution and the first prime minister. Wonderful people that they've done. So this is a statement made by Karl Marx. I want you guys to read it out. Can someone new read this out to me, please? Who's Ajay Nagdevi? Can you please read this out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Although the market
Okay, Ajay, your internet seems to have a problem. Um,
that out
Robot Ajay.
Sir, may I?
who's this? May I? Yes, you may.
Okay. Although the market system will
in
produce a
such
high total output, it it would distribute that output in such a manner
a manner
that
that
over
over time
time
the
the rich get richer and the poor get poor.
rich
Okay,
get
who's
richer
that?
and
Ajay, thank you, Ajay. Ajay, thank you very much.
अरे रुक जाना.
Okay, Preeti, right? No, Pratiksha. Okay,
Yes,
Pratiksha, you
sir.
need to, one thing is you need to modulate your voice. Okay. Um,
Yes, sir.
so you
Actually, I'm suffering for fever and cough
It's
and
okay.
cold.
Even
I
I
have.
have fever here. I have a fever. I have a sore throat. I have body ache. I have everything. Okay. And despite that, I'm here talking to you all in lecture. What I'm talking about is voice modulation. When I mean voice modulation is, see, I can read it. I'll read it in two ways. You tell me which one is better. Okay. Although the market system will produce a high total output, it would distribute that output in such a manner that over time the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Karl Marx. Okay, that is one way. The second way is, although the market system will produce a high output, it would distribute that output in such a manner that over time the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You got the difference?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever you
Second
read
one is
one,
better.
second one is better, right? Okay, what am I
Yeah.
doing is I'm using certain places I'm going high, I'm increasing the volume, certain places I'm taking my pitch low, certain times I'm slowing down, certain times I'm giving a break. I'm doing all of that, and this is called as voice modulation. And each of you need to do that well because tomorrow when you go as managers, you may have to read out a company notice to them. We say all the employees are expected to come on time, to wear formal clothes, to present themselves nicely. Now, if you talk like this, nobody's going to be interested in listening to what you have to say. Yes or no? So you
Yes, sir.
have
Yes.
to have a good voice modulation, and that is part of your training. That is why I make you read in between so that I can identify people who need to improve upon it. Okay. And excuses like this, we don't, industry does not care whether you have HIV, coronavirus, dengue, fever, malaria. If they're paying you a salary, it's a capitalist system. They want you to work for it. Got that?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Pratisha, you want to give it another try?
Again, I read.
Yeah, with the new and improved voice modulation.
Okay. Although the market system will produce a high total output, it would be distribute that output in such a manner that over time the rich get richer and the poor get poor.
Guys, give Pratiksha a round of applause. Okay, you can see it's much better compared to what she had done earlier. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
What
yes,
happened to
sir.
your
I
fever,
also
Pratiksha?
noticed.
What, Pratiksha? What happened to your fever, Pratiksha?
What?
What happened to your fever? I'm saying. What happened? Your voice has improved suddenly.
उड़
So
गया
don't
उड़
give me
गया
fake
Neg-
excuse.
Sir,
Don't
that
give me
was the
fake excuse.
medicine, I guess.
Yes, Hitesh was right.
Okay, so we've seen the command economy. We're getting to a capitalist economy. People pursue self-interest. People respond to incentives. One of the main incentives is money. So As you notice in a capitalist economy, the more skill you have, more incentives people are willing to give you to buy that skill of yours. Okay, so if you're a data scientist, okay, you know how to compile data, you know how to analyze data, you know how to present that data in a manner which is meaningful to the people who are going to use it. In that case, you can command a lot more money in the market because people are incentivizing all of these. Now, if you say that, nay, I will give. I've got 2 years of my college life again. I will spend the next 2 years of my life enjoying, partying, chilling at home, playing video games, and being an absolute idiot. And when you graduate, you will not have the skills people are paying an incentive for. And because of that, you will not earn well and life will stagnate. So spend the next 2 years in such a manner that you earn skills which people are willing to pay for because there are incentives. People are willing to pay you in money for that. And it's a very simple game. You learn the skills with money, as simple as that. And equilibrium is achieved in the market forces. Means, what do I mean by equilibrium? There are equal number of buyers, equal number of sellers in every possible area of business. In almost every possible, you name the place. There was a time where cryptocurrency was in high demand. Ethereum and Bitcoin were the only two cryptocurrencies. Today, 200 cryptocurrencies out there in the market. Okay. You look at properties, or you look at seats in colleges. There was a time 20 years back, it was very difficult to get a seat admission in an engineering college. And today, engineering college seats are going vacant. People are not sit for this is for management students also. Management seats, the sought after seats, you have like thousands of them running for one seat. Today, you have more seats than there are students that want to take admissions. So all of this changes. It's very dynamic and it's all incentive based. It is all market driven. Now, one of the biggest problems of capitalism is it always runs into these cycles. We go through a Tezi and they call it Mandi. So you have Tezis in the market, then you have Mandi in the market, and this is one of the highlights of capitalist economy. And what this happens is whenever there is a demand for something, everyone in the country decides to invest in that and start a factory and start producing that goods. And all of a sudden you have too much of it. For example, buildings. You look at everyone in your vicinity, in your surrounding. So many people have become builders and they're now putting up buildings. There are so many flats for sale. And what happens when you have more flats for sale than there are buyers? What happens to the property market?
It
Prices
will face
drop.
recession.
The prices fall, the market becomes stagnant, the builders start defaulting on loans that they have taken to make up the building. It becomes into a big mess as such. The problem for the builder is he has already invested in land, he has invested in interest in the bank, he has invested in construction of the building. And that is why he cannot reduce the rate, because if he reduces the rate, he's going to lose money. So he's going to hold on to the rate, because of which the property rates don't fall as much as they should. But at the same time, many of the flats remain vacant. And again, it's bad for the economy. So there are all of these problems of recession and expansion which happen in a capitalist economy. We are currently in the stage of a recession right now. So the good thing is, at the end of this, there will be an expansionist. So by the time you guys come out of the market, when you are graduating, I predict that markets will have recovered fully, and you will have a lot of job opportunities, provided you incentivize yourselves and you bring up the right skills that are required. So take a few special exams. There are a lot of, if you guys are joining finance, there are a lot of finance-related exams you can give. If you're in marketing, there are a few marketing-related exams you can give. HR, you can do a project with Pallavi madam and with industry and get certified from the industry as such. So a lot of things that can happen provided you take the self-interest. Okay. And another highlight is every recession in a capitalist economy is always because of abundance. We create so much of a product that nobody wants to buy. And when nobody wants to buy, we are all left in the situation where we have no revenue, we only have cost. And because of which the companies go bankrupt, companies default on loans, and we enter into a recessionary period. Okay? And economies, most of the economies currently work. We are one of them. Any questions up till now? Any doubts? Any questions? Anything you would like to share? Any queries? Can I move on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next thing that is that Ernst about was division of labor. He said as time progresses, people specialize into more and more areas. Now, for example, if you look at the very basic house structure. Uh, in most typical houses, you have the father who's working and the mother who looks after the family. And in some places, you have the mother which also works. So you have both of them working, but at the same time, you will have there's a little division of work over there. So when it comes to any of the home repairs and the stuff like that, the father will look after. When it comes to children's education and stuff like that, the mother look after. You notice that although both of them are just parents, they have specialized what they want to do. Each one of them has taken up a role and said, I will specialize in one aspect of raising the family, you specialize in the other aspect of raising the family. And together we will achieve the goal of staying together, having kids, making kids achieve something in life. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Aja, my voice is not clear, reaching clearly. Is everyone having the same problem? My voice is not clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अटक
Oh,
अटक के आ रहा है सर आवाज.
oh, acha, acha, one second. Now, give me a second. Let me see if I can just. I'll disconnect and I'll reconnect one second. Give me a second.
Same ही सोनल.
Better than earlier. How is my voice now? Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we have the distribution of labor. If you look at the a typical market, if you look at a typical market, does everyone sell the exact same goods in the market?
No.
No, sir.
What type of what type of shops do you see? What type of shops do you see in the market?
Differences
Different.
Yeah. How different? I'm asking. Tell me the different types of shop. That's what I'm asking.
like quality, price, differences in quality, differences in price.
But yeah, and what about the product?
हाँ product with
Yes.
So
So
there are
I'll say the
Well,
retailers,
same.
wholesalers,
houses.
No, like
grocery, medical shops.
yes, yes. This is what I'm looking out for. Thank you, Hitesh. So you look at there is a grocery store on one end which sells you stuff like biscuits and pens, a little chocolates. They'll have some Ruffles Lays and all these stuff over there. You know, like daily consumable items as such. What is another kind of store which is there? Give me another example in a market. What do you
bakery,
Medical.
Stationery.
pastry? You'll have a
Medical
bakery.
shops.
You'll have a medical shop which
cloth,
sells you. You have a cloth shop which
Stationery.
sells some
Stationaries.
stationery shops. Yes. What else?
Departmental stores.
Equipment. Okay. What equipment are you talking about?
Departmental stores.
Okay, you have a departmental store as such. Okay, what else?
Sir, nashta walas.
Yeah, you have people who
and
sell
मिर्ची
breakfast.
वाला.
Dhabas.
Yes, you have some dhaba. You see a wide variety of them, and you notice they have each of them have specialized in one particular area. Do you think one day he sells chai, next day he's selling coffee, third day he's selling milkshake, fourth day he's selling roti and kapda? Does that happen over?
No, sir.
No,
Yes.
sir.
No. Okay,
No,
have you
sir.
noticed what has happened in the market? They have all specialized, they have divided themselves into categories, and each of them handles a very unique category. Now, even amongst the chai walas, there are people who sell taprika chai, and there is barista coffee, or there is Starbucks. Okay, you have variety within the category also. So within a product, you have sub products in there. Okay, and each of them offer now. Then there is this Nagori chai which has come up, which is now the new rage over there. 10 rupees ka chai, and everyone's after it. And
Sir, or
you
someone
see,
like MBA chai wala.
I'm that's an
तू
MBA
यही
chai wala
करेगा.
also. मुझे
Yes, I
मुझे
have
मुझे
heard. Prime Minister.
I took प्रधानमंत्री का बात उसने seriously ले लिया, चाय और पकौड़े बेचने चला. But he's making money out of it. Yeah. See, at the end of the day, I don't mind
सर
selling
वो तो
whatever.
मोटिवेशनल लेक्चर भी देता है उसके ऊपर.
Yeah. In fact, see,
अच्छा,
some
हमको
of
तो
it,
पता ही नहीं था.
नहीं,
I
अरे
don't
सच में
mind.
एमबीए चाय वाला है.
I know that.
No,
I
no,
know.
MBA vada pav
हम
wala
लोग ने
now.
सुना है, चिंता मत कर.
Different
Okay,
of variety, not only chai.
so I expect from this class, one of you all opens up one shitty little business like this with the name MBA wala. Okay, so this is you open cloth store, you open rickshaw, you start something, but you have to use the branding of MBA. Understood? Right? It'll be and try to make it large, try to make it better and bigger as well. But it's good. So you see, people have divided themselves into categories, and the reason is because it is difficult to sell a product. Now, for example, for a chai wala, what all do you require for a person to become a chai wala and to sell the product? What do you need to do? Can you just get up one day and start opening up and start selling chai today? Is it that easy? What are
No, no sir.
so? What do you think are the steps that someone has to do in order to get into it?
We want capital.
Yes, I need capital. I need to buy one tapri first. Okay, so I need some money to buy a tapri. When I buy the tapri, then what do I do?
Raw material.
I need to buy raw materials. Now, you think?
Skills.
Sorry,
Skill for that.
I need skill for that. Okay, because if you ask, if you ask my wife to make chai, right, nobody will drink that. Okay, so if you ask my mother to make chai, she oh, amazing tea. Okay, amazing tea. So you require skill also. Everyone, we have the best. I have all the possible chai in my house. You know, there is Tata, there is which is that Lipton.
Red label.
Red
मार्केटिंग
label.
स्किल भी चाहिए
Red
ना
label का
सर.
bottle है वैसे. Okay, but
अरे
no,
हाँ
for
हाँ
this
हाँ.
chai. So we have the raw material is there, but you also require a very skilled person to make the chai also, and that becomes that takes a skill. You need to practice somewhere. You need to work. Yeah, need to answer, but luckily she's not around. So and my thing is, and I doubt she watches my videos, so she's not gonna notice. But yeah, what am I gonna say? What was I saying? What was I? So you require skill, you require raw materials. I mean, when I want raw materials, do you think I can go to the neighboring Kirana wala and buy my raw materials from there? Will that be the best option?
No, not the
No,
retailer.
Why
it's a
not?
wholesale.
Yes.
No.
Who's that? Who said wholesale?
Ah, sir, me. Yes, Neetu.
Sir, me
Oh,
too. I said retailer.
Oh,
Wholesaler
but
is
oh,
I
opposite of
told
retailer.
wholesale. Oh, hello. I told wholesale, but the wholesale answer is right, okay?
wholesale answer is right. Neetu, you're right. Absolutely right. Okay. So
Ah,
it
see,
has
see.
to be. Now, the reason why would you want to go to a wholesaler and buy stuff from him?
Cost
So we can get
Getting
Cheap
profit.
good
cost.
We
price.
can get the profit can be, divided
We
according
can
to
get
it.
a good price.
The price
Yes.
can
Let us
be
do basic. Yeah. So now, if at all I'm getting tea at around, say, how much is tea basically in kilos? How do you get it? When you buy in bulk, yes, okay. When you buy in bulk, you get it cheaper. So if I know my raw material price is cheaper, I can make more profit at the end of it. Okay. If I'm selling my chai at 10 rupees per cup, okay, and my raw material cost, if I buy from the retailer, my raw material cost is 6 rupees. My rent goes 1 rupee, and if my heating and gas goes 1 rupee, I'm left with 2 rupees after taking out all my expenditure. So I make 2 rupees profit if my costing comes to 8 rupees from a 10 rupees sale. But at the same time, if I go to a wholesaler and I buy my raw materials at 4 rupees, then my profit now becomes 4 plus 2 minus 10, means 10 minus 6, and I make 4 rupees profit out of this. So if I want to make more profit, I have to go to the source where I get it at the cheapest, and that is at a wholesale market. So now suppose I go to a wholesale market and I buy 20 kilos of chai patti and I come back. Do you think I can sell all the 20 kilos of chai patti in one day? Fairly difficult. 20 kilos will last me around a week at least. Now that is why when I do all of this, I've bought a tapri, I have done the marketing for it, I have brought chai patti in bulk for 1 week, I have trained myself under an expert chaiwala for the last 3 months, and then I go to sell. You think after putting all this effort, I will change my line of business? I will stop selling tea and I'll start selling cloth?
No, sir.
That's
No.
No.
stupid, right? That is absolutely stupid if I do that, because I've invested so much of my time and money into something, and then switching line makes no sense. Because then I have inventory with me, I have a shop which says chai wala, and then I can't sell cloth in that, right? And this is why over time economies start to uh, specialize, and there is division of labor. People break down large components, large jobs into small tiny components, and we start specializing in those areas. And this is how you improve on efficiency. And if you do this for a fairly long period of time, you become very good at it. Okay, you become very good at it. And the pinnacle of this is the assembly line, okay, which was done by Henry Ford. Have any of you all seen a assembly line before? A car assembly line?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Okay.
Discovery Channel only.
Okay, give me a second. Let me
How
see
it's
if
made?
yeah, I'll just check if I can have this played on. I think I have the video on my computer.
I guess they showed the Tata Nano's assembly line on
Yes,
Discovery.
yes, yes. Yeah. So this is the original factory where he built his assembly line. You can see it, right? It's a little, it's cutting a little, but not that bad. Ah, I don't know what. I think I have a problem. Wait, let me see if I can play it on YouTube. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Okay. So this is yeah, I hate these videos. Yeah, there's so many of these ads keep coming up. Give me a second. Now it's fine. Okay. So this is how they start off with. They start off with plain metal, and that metal is put into this large press. Press is nothing like a mold. Okay, it's a large mold. You put metal inside and you punch it really hard. And what you get is, I'll speed up the thing a little. You see holes have been formed onto it. It's like your punch. You have a punch at home, punch paper. Then you
Yes,
put it
yes.
on another machine like that, and it gives it a shape. You can see it happening. Now all of these pieces are put together. This is a welding operation. You can see almost. You can see a car shape now.
Yes.
Yes.
If you notice carefully, you'll notice all throughout the car is continuously moving. As the car is moving, people have to do work on it. Can you see it happening?
Yes, sir.
The painting process. Engine is being put into the car. Again, if you notice, you can see the background moving slowly. The car is continuously moving as such. Now pay attention to this guy in the green shirt. His only job in the entire company is to take this right hand side door and to fix that right hand side door. He does not do anything else. Okay. The You had robots who were doing the painting part. You had another guy who was driving a forklift who was doing the metal part. The guy behind with the red cap, if you can see, his job is only to pick up another panel and put over there. So for all the cars, they have divided the work in such a manner that one person does only one type of job. He's not open to the entire car. So in this manner, he becomes very good at doing that one particular job, and because of which the speed at which he can do the job increases. Secondly, the number of defects, the number of mistakes that can happen, that reduces, because when you're doing only one type of job throughout the day in and day out, you will not make mistakes in that. Every time you do it, you will do it you do it perfectly. And this is what Henry Ford had first come up with. He said earlier the way cars used to build was the way we make food at home. If you notice the way we make food at home, the product sits in one place, like your final. Suppose you're making rice, okay? You will wash the rice. That rice is taken, like either you, your mother, or the maid, or your auntie, or whoever is helping in cooking at home. She's gonna wash the rice. You take the rice, put it in a vessel. That vessel, fill water in that, keep it on the gas, turn on the gas, and she waits over there. Means everything happens on the product level. Then she will take some masalas. She will cut vegetables, cut the vegetables, mix the masalas, put it in another vessel, keep it on the gas. Everything happens over there. Now she has, if tomorrow you want to change the product, you don't want vegetable curry, you want some sambar, she changes the way it happens. But all throughout, it is the same person doing all the different jobs in one location. But if you look at the assembly line, the product keeps moving, the person remains in that one place itself, and he does only one kind of job. And this is the highlight or the pinnacle of how work can be subdivided and it can be offered so that people specialize. And that is why we have very few defects in a car. And the same is for a mobile also. You look at a mobile assembly line also, you'll find the similar thing. I'll show you that to you also. जैसे कि वहां पर जो बन रहा था, आपको मैंने बताया था साइज में डिवाइड होता है। ये यहाँ पर उसके अंदर इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट्स जो वो लगवाए जाते हैं, जैसे कि रजिस्टर है, सीपीयू और हार्डवेयर में जो चीज लगवानी है, वो यहाँ पर फिर अलग अलग तरीके से वो लोग लगाते हैं। आप देखेंगे इधर से लेके वहां तक। अब यहाँ पर दोस्तों इसके बाद एक और फाइनल इंस्पेक्शन होता है इस पीसीबी बोर्ड का। आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर ये बंदा जो है ये करता है सब कुछ, यहाँ पर सामने कंप्यूटराइज है। आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर ये कंप्यूटर पे वो सब कुछ चेक करेगा, जांच पड़ताल करेगा, फाइनली वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। फिर हम इस वाले पार्ट पर आते हैं। ये देखिए यहाँ पर ये 3 बन रहा है, और ये क्या करता है दोस्तों कि जो रिमेनिंग जैसे कि सिम स्लॉट है, एसडी कार्ड स्लॉट है, आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर वो सारी चीजें वो लोग यहाँ पर पीसीबी बोर्ड के अंदर लगवाते हैं। तो पहले वो इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, उसके बाद ये वाली चीजें होती है। यहाँ से निकला, यहाँ पर आया, और इसमें जो बचे बचे पार्ट है वो यहाँ पर लगाए जा रहे हैं। तो मैन्युअली पूरा काम हो रहा है, शुरू वहां से हुआ था, देखिए वहां से मैन्युअली हर एक चीज यहाँ पर लगाई जाती है। सबका अलग अलग काम है। कैमरा लगा दी दोस्तों, तो आपको आगे दिखा रहा था। Okay, like this guy is only putting a camera over there. The other guys are putting different parts. So what I'm trying to say is everyone specializes in doing a small little part. You do that really well. And with that, you are assured to provide good quality in your product. So this is what Adam Smith first brought about in his talk with Division of Labor. And mind you, he had written this around 300 years back. And luckily, the world has come to realization that this is the way it has to progress, and people get specialized. And this holds true even for you. So when you want to graduate, by the time you graduate, instead of being the run of the mill and MBA graduate like everybody else, you should specialize in one area. Even finance is not, don't stop at finance. Within finance, you'll have to specialize in that, because there are areas within finance. For example, there is banking, there is equity markets, there are debt markets, there is investment banking, there's capital financing, there are debentures. There are so many areas for finance. There's project finance. Specialize in one particular area within that. In that, there are again further specializations. And unless you specialize and become a specialist in that, the industry will not want you. See, you have to realize today, 10 years back, 20 years back, industry wanted a basic MBA graduate, like postgraduate. They wanted anyone who had little business sense, they wanted. Today, they already have such people. Industry already has people like them. They want specialists in a field. So they may want someone who's very good in money markets. They want someone who's very good in branding. They want someone who's very good in search engine optimization. You should be the best optimizer out there compared to anybody else, and that is what the company wants. So keep in mind, division of labor is the name of the game today. Unless you have very good specialization, you do not stand a chance in the competition. Okay. There are some of these videos which I think I've put them online. When you go on Google Classroom, you will find the difference between a single knife making and a mass-produced Victoria knife making, how the production systems are different. Also, you will find Henry Fords versus specialized cars, Ferraris. I put all the videos in the classroom links. You can have a look at that. Okay. There's another thing called as a diamond water paradox. Okay. Now tell me something. How important is water in your life?
Water is a life.
Okay, yeah, water is life. Jal hi jeevan hai. Akanksha, yes, and what are the utility? Like, let us break it down. Let us break it down. Water is life is like a very broad statement. It's a true statement, but a very broad statement. Give me very specifics. What do you require water for?
So like for agriculture.
Okay, for agriculture. What
To
else?
drink.
To
To
drink.
drink.
Most important, to drink. Really, most important. Thank you, Pritam. Some common sense in this class at least. एग्रीकल्चर तेरे को क्या एग्रीकल्चर करना है क्या नीतू हाँ शेतकरी हो व्हाट यू
अरे सर फिर खाएगा क्या आदमी?
तू अभी जाके फार्मिंग करने वाली है क्या लेक्चर खत्म होने के बाद तू पिएगा नहीं पानी
So in fact, I
ठीक
have
है
a little like farmer type small.
क्या एक पॉट है घर पे जिसमें मूंग उगाती है क्या पॉट में एक नीम
No
का
sir,
झाड़
mirchi.
अच्छा मिर्ची ठीक है ओके तू मिर्ची खा के जिंदा रहेगी क्या फिर वो तुम्हारा एग्रीकल्चर
So it's useful having like vada pav after vada.
ओ
The
ठीक है
opening MBA vada pav wala.
okay ठीक है then you'll have to start growing potatoes also start growing potato and vada then it will be useful okay
Any more
so
ideas?
okay, no, let's get to what I'm trying to teach first. So, what is important for drinking? Yes, it is important for agriculture also, but let us start with the basics. For cooking, yes, you need water to cook, right? तुम्हारा चावल किसमें बनाएगी तुम? Okay, थोड़ी ना उसमें पेट्रोल डाल के तुम चावल के साथ मिक्स करके खा सकती है. नहीं ना. You have to put water in that. Okay. What else besides
Washing purpose.
washing? Yes, you require water to wash clothes. Uh,
उसके लिए तो पूरा समुंदर है सर.
कौन सा
So that
समुंदर
was not fair, huh? Cooking
Yeah,
के लिए
what-
पानी agriculture में not fair, not fair.
हाँ ठीक है रो मत अभी now next give me more options so you see for almost every aspect of life you require water you need for drinking for cooking you to take a shower to have a bath to wash clothes for all of it to brush your teeth have you tried putting only toothpaste on your toothbrush without water have you tried that ever
No sir,
Yes,
actually
sir.
not brushed
No
still.
sir. No
हाँ
sir.
मैंने try
Yes, sir.
किया it's not
Yes.
it's a very shitty feeling type you feel like as if someone has put some soap in your mouth so
Yeah.
that So you have to have water. Even till the time you get up till the time you sleep, you are drinking water. You are using water.
Water,
Very
yes,
important.
yes.
So you see, water is very important. How expensive is water?
15 rupees per liter.
Sir,
If you
20
if you
rupees liter.
₹20 sir.
अच्छा
Bislary.
बीस
रेनी
का
सीजन
बॉटल आता है।
हो गया अगर मान लो रेनी सीजन में ना तुम बाहर खुले में मुंह खोल के आए इफ यू स्टैंड ले दैट यू गेट वाटर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट अंडरस्टूड एंड if you're a little hi-fi and you want to show off then जाके बिस्लरी प्लीज कैन आई हैव बिस्लरी बोल दिया तो you have to pay 20 rupees a liter and if you open your municipality का नल you get it at I think around 2000 rupees for 10 rupees you get 2000 liters that is the ratio or something of that sort and this is how it works. So you see, water is fairly cheap. What I'm trying to say is water is fairly cheap. It's not expensive. On the other hand, how expensive is a diamond?
Now everyone will say it's very expensive.
Yeah, I know it is very expensive, and it's like like 1 carat of diamond is like around what 3 lakhs or 6 lakhs, something of that range. Okay, so it's such a small itnusa is like around like you can see my pen, the top of this pen, which is there. That yellow part, a diamond of this size will be around 6 to 7 lakhs. And let us look at the uses of diamond. Okay, what can I do with a diamond? How?
Rings,
नेकलेस
jewelry,
Wow.
Oh,
ring.
how useful a ring is. My
Glass.
God, with the ring I
Used to
can
Yeah.
have
cut glass.
protection.
Yes, I agree with
ये
you,
क्या
Aditya.
ये ये वो कैप्टन प्लैनेट का रिंग हो गया राइट which are the who else uses rings as such हाँ what is the use of a ring
शादी कर लो
Engagement
बस।
ring
Showing
and
To
also
show
status.
the marital
people putting
status.
in their wedding rings.
okay fine ठीक है great you can show and what is the use of that what is the use of
It is a symbol to show the modern love nowadays.
it?
People give diamond
Sir,
rings
for
to each
morning
other.
chai.
क्या
Eh?
तू डायमंड चाय में डालती है क्या
अरे सर वाइफ की बात कर रही
बहुत
हूँ सर
ज्यादा अमीर है।
हस्बैंड वाइफ लाइक चाय।
अच्छा ठीक है वो तो 10 रुपए तो 10 रुपए में टपरी में भी मिल जाते तो क्या वाइफ का कीमत 10 रुपए है क्या हाँ उतने में खरीद लिया
सर
so
धीरे
you see
बोलो सच में सुन सकते हैं आगे वाले।
so, no, I'm defending her you're not understanding you are trying to put her down I'm defending so
गेम
what was I
चेंजर।
saying? Coming back to my diamond okay can you see diamond is fairly it is yes diamonds can be used to cut glass but there are so many other things you can use to cut glass also matlab how often do we cut glass yaar कौन बोला था diamond is used to cut glass who was that
Aditya.
Aditya why don't you talk once in a while instead of keeping it on mute Aditya has a lot of valid points but he's a silent spectator so okay where was I yes so you see diamond has very little utility okay we don't use it very much in normal life robot okay ठीक है so it has very little utility but it has a very high price on the other hand you have water which has very high utility but a very low price and why do you think this is the case
Supply, because of the supply. Maybe
because
labor
of
cost. Supply,
Swapnil, come again
because of the supply, water can be found
yes
anywhere.
yes supply okay because water can be found everywhere the supply is very high okay and when it comes to a diamond the supply is limited and there is another somebody said supply there's somebody said with something else
Labor, maybe labor. We
Also
need
Sakshi,
to
trustworthy.
do
beautiful
work for it.
beautiful the amount of work that you have to do now if I can I just go down like dig the soil search for one diamond and put it on a ring will that work
No.
can I do that no why won't it work can I dig in my ground मेरे घर के पीछे can I just dig over here and search for diamonds हो सकता है क्या
No,
हाँ
of course not.
Sir, if that's the case, let's dig it together.
yeah okay but sir
लालची आदमी।
unfortunately it's not so you see the problem is first of all you require a mine which has got diamonds okay which and there are very few diamond mines so you got to hunt for it so you got to have these geologists who go and search now the problem with a diamond it looks very similar to quartz there is another mineral called quartz and
So we can't hear you. Hello.
Give me a second. I think somebody is called. Mhm. Okay. So quartz looks like a diamond. So it's very, you will think it's a diamond, but when you go to scratch it or something, you'll notice it is very weak and it's not diamond. So diamonds are rare. They're not as easily found in the Earth's crust, and you have to search a lot and then you find. So a lot of labor goes into searching where a diamond is. Okay. Then after you find, okay, fine, maybe this is an area where there are diamonds, then you have to dig for it. You have to dig really deep, and if you dig a lot, and among like tons and tons of mud, you will find one small piece of stone which may have a decent diamond inside it. Okay. So then comes the entire mining part of it. The mining cost involved in a diamond is very high. Mine for it. After you mine it, you get your diamond. The diamond is still rough. It has to be given a good shape. So there has to be someone who has to plan a nice shape, like a diamond crust or rectangular shape. There are many different types of oval shape, a round shape. All those things have to be done. Cuts have to be given. So it has to go to a specialized craftsman to have it cut. After it is cut, do you think that craftsman can go and sell it directly? Will you buy
No,
from
no.
person who says, ये देखो मेरे हाथ में डायमंड मिला है, बहुत 4 लाख दे दो ना इसका मैडम? Okay. You think will you buy a diamond for 4 lakhs? If you go spend 4 lakhs, your wife will slap you across your face like that from any random person. Understood? So it's not going to happen. Okay. You can't go buy a diamond like that from random person. That poor craftsman, although he has put a lot of time and effort into crafting it, he has to sell it to a jeweler who is a reputed jeweler. Only then you will go and buy it. Yes or no? Like you'll go buy from Tanish or your
Yes.
local reputed jeweler, some PM Shah or someone like that. So you see, it involves so many steps, so many specialized people, and only at the end you are willing to pay money for it. And because of the amount of labor that goes into it, the cost is so high. And that is how you have this diamond water paradox. You have this diamond water paradox because water, although it is precious and has high utility, and a diamond has low utility, the cost of the diamond is much higher. And it is the number of hours and the labor that is involved in it which causes the cost to increase so much. Okay. So I want to know from you guys, what are such paradoxes in nature which you find like the diamond water paradox? Give me other examples like the diamond water paradox in nature or in life, in society.
Golden iron.
Oh yeah, that's a nice, but yeah, that's a fairly nice one, but the difference is not too large. Like gold is also very important, and but it's rare, and there's a lot of work which goes into. No, in fact, actually, gold and iron has a very strange thing. It is much more difficult to get iron than it is to get gold. Do you know that? In order to get iron, you don't find iron in nature. I hope you realize that. You find it as a as an ore. You find as an ore, and this
Yes.
ore will only melt at 3000 degrees Celsius. Okay, and to give you a rough idea, wood burns at 700 degrees Celsius. You see the problem here? Wood burns at 700. To melt and make iron and steel, you need to burn it at 1500 to 3000 degrees Celsius. So unless you can make very high temperatures, you cannot get steel and iron. So all throughout history, iron and steel have been amongst the most of precious commodities in the world. It's only unfortunate that today, and I won't say unfortunate, it's a fortunate thing that today we live in an age where we produce so much of steel that the price has come down. Otherwise, steel should be around 500 to 1000 rupees per kg, but steel is just 50 rupees per kg. Okay, that's the beauty about modern society. We've created certain excesses in society that prices have come down so low that it's affordable for everyone to buy things which are extremely difficult to buy, which are extremely difficult to make. So, but I'm thank you. But Sunny, gold and iron, yes, it is a strange paradox. One thing is very expensive, and in fact, actually, what you're saying is perfectly right. Gold can be easily found, iron cannot be found. Gold is more expensive, iron is way damn cheaper because of the same paradox. Okay, give me another example.
Cups, utensils, something.
Sorry,
So cups and utensils like
cups and utensils. How is that a paradox?
So food and clothes.
Food and clothes.
Salt
Okay,
and gold.
food has very salt and gold. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, salt and gold is a
Coal
good
and
example.
water. Coal and water. Like kind of like diamond and water only.
Nah,
Okay,
they both are unlimited.
I want something which has very low value. See, when you're comparing, right, you have to compare something which has very high value. Sorry, very high utility, low cost, very low utility, very high cost. Okay, you
Sir,
getting it?
crude oil and whiskey.
Sorry, which one?
Crude oil and whiskey.
Crude oil and whiskey. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, whiskey and crude oil. Crude oil has so much utility, You require to burn cars and I mean you require to for petrol and diesel and it is only what 50 how much is it's only around less than 100 rupees per liter and whiskey is like 2000 rupees a liter. Yep, absolutely fine. Correct. Absolutely right. Who said that?
Sir, me, Hitesh.
Hitesh, wonderful Hitesh. Okay, great. So I think we'll more or less get some of the important points over here. What we will do is we will take a little break now. It's almost 11 o'clock. We'll take a 10-minute break and we will catch up again in 10 minutes. In the meantime, if you want, you can go up and read up on demand and supply or take a small break, eat a little. And yeah, I think Preetham is already doing signals to her mother that she wants to eat something. What are you eating, Preetham? Huh?
Tilgud, Tilgud. Sir, by the way, happy Makka Sakranti.
Dahi poha,
Happy Makar
sir.
Sankranti to everyone, guys. No one is.
Happy Makar
My,
Sankranti,
I'll
sir.
send. I'll send you out my address. Send me one some teal goods if possible. Okay, so let's catch up in 10 minutes time. All right. Okay, Preeta, meet well and come back. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.